phone. I am with Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge, and I would like to welcome you today to the 2017 Business Systems Virtual Summit. I am very, very excited to have with me today Stephanie LaTorre joining us to talk all about WordPress. If you have not heard about WordPress or have not tried it, used it, whatever, Stephanie is your go-to girl. She works with bloggers and website owners who really struggle with keeping up with new and different digital marketing strategies. And those people who would like to have, you know, kind of an easy access to templates and plans and things that make it a little bit easier for them to market their business in the digital world. She understands digital marketing strategies, and what makes her different is that she explains those digital marketing strategies to her clients so that they can actually work smarter because now they understand what they're doing, which is a huge component when you're trying to figure all this stuff out in the techie world. So her clients are actually able to get better results simply because of that level of understanding. So I'm super excited to have Stephanie on with us today. Stephanie, welcome.
Hi, Marissa. I'm so excited to be here.
Yay! It is wonderful, wonderful having you here. So tell us, you're in Italy, right?
I am. I'm in southern Italy, about less than a mile from the beach.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I was in Italy last year. It was fantastic. I'm so jealous. Okay, well, let's move on. Let's talk all about WordPress. So let's begin with just the basics. Can you tell us, what is WordPress?
Okay, well, most likely you've heard someone say to you, you need a WordPress website. What they didn't tell you is that there's two different kinds of WordPress websites. So first, let me just clarify. The WordPress.com website, that's your, how can I explain this best? That's when WordPress is doing the bulk of the work for your website. So they're hosting it. This is the free version. They have some little upgrades in there too, but this is where WordPress is kind of controlling your website.
Right.
Now the .org version, that's where you are 100% in control of your website. That's where you have your own hosting, you have your own domain name, you install WordPress, you install the theme, you don't have any crazy advertising on there. The WordPress.com, WordPress will put their advertising on there and they actually get the money for it. So you have ads on your website that you're not even making money from.
Yeah,
so
which is not
that's not necessarily something that you want on there.
So what I'm
So whenever someone says that you need, go ahead.
Well, what I'm hearing you say is for those of us that like to be in control, WordPress.org is the way to go.
Either way, if you're planning on doing a website and someone says you need WordPress, you want the WordPress self-hosted website.
Yeah.
And there are some really, really simple hosting plans out there that you can get. Some of them start, I think they start around like $3 a month.
Oh, wow.
So it's a nominal fee. Yeah, absolute nothing.
Yeah.
But I really wouldn't recommend the free version unless you absolutely do not want to spend any money at all on your website. You never know where your website's going to take you. Like even my blog, for example, I just kind of started as a portfolio back in the day, and now it's like this whole big thing. Like I'm selling courses, I have a challenge. So at least with the WordPress.org and the self-hosted, you're giving yourself an opportunity to grow without the headaches of changing from one system to another.
And I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of people don't understand that just as you evolve as a business owner and an entrepreneur, your website is also going to evolve. So I was watching one of your videos, and one of the very first things you said, you know, was for the audience to love their website as it is right now. Like really appreciate something about your website because it didn't used to exist. Now it does exist, and now it's evolving, and you recognize that it needs to change. And I think that's a big piece for a lot of people, is understanding that evolution process when you're dealing with your own website. I hated mine when I first built my website. It was like, I don't even want to show this to anybody.
You and me both, sister.
And it evolved and it grew right along with me. Yep. Now it's like something that I'm very proud of. So I'm really glad that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of people struggle with that.
It's so, so important. And I mean, this goes into even a bigger topic than just your website. This is loving your business in general. But, you know, I started as a management consultant, and now I'm a WordPress expert. Like there's,
right.
they don't even go together.
Happen. Yeah.
It was part of my journey, and my website came along on that journey with me. I mean, well, let's see, in the last 6 months, I've changed themes twice now on my website.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change themes again. I've already told myself, like, this is it. Like, you have to keep it this way for at least a year now.
Yeah. Well,
but
that's what I've learned.
That's also the fun of WordPress, is you can have one website one day and then a completely different website the next day.
Yeah.
Like, and in just a matter of hours. I changed my website the last time. I changed it just a couple weeks ago. And it took me pretty much a couple hours in the morning. And that was it. I had what looked like a brand new website.
Yeah.
And again, it's going to change some point, but you just have to love your website as it is right now. There's got to be something you like about your website, even if you're just starting.
Exactly.
And even if you don't, you know what? Think about all the people who are out there going, man, I really wish I had a website. Like,
that's a good point.
Really, I really need my website to be done, so I can move to the next point. Like, at least you have your website,
Right. You have some landing spot for them to go. Yeah, exactly. So what would you say are some of the main features of WordPress?
Well, the best feature really of WordPress is the back-end system. It is so easy to use. Yeah. I mean, I've worked with Wix and Weebly, and in fact, I'm doing a site in iCloud now for a client, and it's got these little drop-in drag modules, which in theory looks simple. But the thing is, I wanted to change a color on one of them, and I literally can't do it. Yeah. Like, my hands are tied. I'm completely locked. Like, I can't do anything with it. With WordPress, you have this amazing back-end system that is so simple to use. And you can change any part of your website you want, anywhere. Like, if you want, there's like a little dot up on the top corner and you want it to go away, you can do it. That cannot be said about some other website.
Right. And I think that's one of the things that I love about WordPress is I can do anything I want with it. I mean, no matter what I'm looking for, there's a theme for that. There's a plugin for that. I mean,
there's always a plugin for something.
Yeah. So it really does make a huge difference to have that level of control as you're evolving as a business owner again.
Yep.
I mean, like you mentioned, you went from being a blogger to now you have now you membership sites and courses, all of these types.
I don't even know where that happened. No, just
yeah.
So the other great thing about WordPress is there's so much you can do for free.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to buy a theme. You don't have to buy plugins. Yes, there are paid versions that are out there that are great and are amazing, but there's so many free ones that you can use that are just as good. Some of them are even better than some of the paid ones that I've seen out there. Yeah. I have a free theme on my website.
Yeah, I love it. Really cool free theme the other day, and I was like, this is amazing. They're becoming more and more feature driven, I think.
Yes.
People are wanting so many more things. So the free themes are now coming into their own and really, again, evolving like everything else.
Yeah.
Really cool to watch.
Got everything in there now.
Yeah, exactly. So talk to me a little bit about, okay, so I'm an entrepreneur. I'm trying to get my website up and running. I've decided to use WordPress. What kind of cost am I looking at? Like, what is it going to cost me to install WordPress, to host WordPress, to add themes and plugins? Like, do you have kind of a ballpark about what it's going to cost me to run my WordPress website?
You can actually get your website started for $7.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not kidding. I have some themes some hosting packages that I recommend. One of them actually gives you a free domain name for life. So let's say I want marissastone.com and it's available. I actually get that domain name for free for the rest of my life. So I don't have to pay that $10 fee or all that other crazy stuff. Wow. So my domain name right off the bat, that's free right there. They have different payment options, so you can pay a 2-year package. I think with the 2-year package, you can find different ones too that are anywhere from $3 to $7 a month, up to $10 a month. I think is like the highest that I've seen.
Right.
And that the hosting package that you want to make sure it has unlimited space on your hosting plan, and that you have unlimited databases. Because the problem that you might have, in fact, I had a client email me today. She's like, listen, I was trying to install WordPress, but it says I can't. So, well, have you checked your your hosting package, because sure enough, her hosting package only gives her one WordPress install because it only gives one database.
Nice.
So now she's going to go through the hassle of contacting them and upgrading them, this and that. So that's something you want, two things that you want to make sure that you look out for when you're looking for a hosting package. Again, if you need to buy a domain, if that hosting provider doesn't offer free domain, depending on the domain, they go for about $10, pretty much anywhere from $10 to $20 I've seen. So that would be to get started. So let's say max you're looking at 20 bucks up front, really, to get started. Installing WordPress is completely free. There's when you buy your hosting and you buy your domain, you'll be logged into what's called your cPanel. And from that cPanel, there's going to be a little button to install WordPress. If you can't find it, there's always a little search box, usually like up on the top left corner. Just type WordPress or install and something will come up for you.
There it'll be.
Now, when you're installing WordPress, you want to make sure of a couple things. It's going to ask you if you want to do a subdirectory. You don't. So if there's a little thing that says blog or WP, you want to make sure you take that off. Otherwise, you're going to be setting up your website at a different spot. So it won't be at marissastone.com. It'll be at marissastone.com/blog, which you don't want. Or maybe you do. I don't know. But it just be aware of it.
Yeah, understand.
You also want to make sure that you don't use admin as your username.
Yes.
Because that is just like asking to have someone hack your website.
Right. Well, it's a default, so everybody uses it.
Make sure you change it. That's exactly. So in fact, when people try to hack your website, that's the first thing they do is they put admin, and then they have a computer run through all the different password combinations to get into your, I don't even know why. I don't understand the point of that, but people do it. Yeah. So you just want to make sure that you protect yourself against that.
Yeah.
And then it's a simple click to install. You might be able to also just have the details emailed to you. That's always helpful for you. And on the next page, about 3 minutes later, once it's installed, it'll give you the links to log into WordPress, and it will give you the link to your actual website. So you'll be all set. You want to make sure you save that. Any WordPress install, it's very, very simple. It's just going to be your website name /wp-login.php or wp-admin.
Right.
That's pretty standard.
Yeah.
If you ever lose those, good tip for you.
Save those emails.
Yeah. And then you're good. Then it's the fun part. Then it's the installing, the themes, installing the plugins to make it work, working on your content, playing around with pictures. For me, that's always the fun part, is the design part. I like,
design features. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So let's back up for just a second.
Okay.
WordPress, and then you mentioned hosting. Can you tell us the difference? So I've purchased my URL and I've chosen my WordPress theme. Now I need to host it?
Okay. So you want to think of your host. Well, let's step back even further a second.
Yeah.
We see a website and we see all these pretty pictures and all this fun stuff going on.
Right.
That's not what your website is. Your website is really just a bunch of files. I mean, you can think of it like a folder of files in your filing cabinet.
Right.
There's a folder for the themes. There's a folder for the plugins. There's a folder for the images. There's a different piece of paper that tells the website, what to do at this point or what to do at that point.
Right.
And that's really what your website is you can even think them of them as like computer files.
Yes.
So like a big, you have My Documents on your computer, that's exactly what it is. So what your hosting is it's hosting those files that make up your website.
Okay.
So it's really just storage space at the end of the day.
Right.
But it's that storage space that tells it, okay, this is the website, marissastone.com. You need to go to this address, and this is where you're going to find all the files for her website. And you need to do whatever it says in these files whenever someone comes to her website.
Cool. Good to know. Thank you for explaining that. A lot of people are confused about those two things. So are there any limitations to a WordPress site?
Well, there's some things you need to be careful of. I've seen a lot of clients come through and they'll get a theme that they really, really love, but maybe they want to change something on the theme, and maybe they'll hire someone to do it. And what that person will do is, instead of doing it the proper way, they'll go in and they'll try and manipulate the files a little bit. So you have to be careful in WordPress that you're not going in and changing any of the code or changing any of the HTML text in the actual theme files, because that can really, really mess up your website. And once that happens, say hello to a lot of headaches, a lot of money to fix it. Really, at that point, you're better off just, I'm not saying closing shop, but you're better off just like starting from scratch in some cases.
Right.
Because you really, so people sometimes look for that little quick fix,
Mm-hmm.
and it actually ends up causing them more problems.
Right.
So anytime you're going to do something to your WordPress website, you do want to make sure that you're doing it the legal, the WordPress legal way, so that you're not giving yourself more headaches, because that can be one drawback to WordPress.
Right.
You know, a teeny tiny little thing like, you know, editing your theme file can snowball into a lot of other problems.
Right. Right. So you do have to be careful about that. Yeah, I can see that being the case. But I think also choosing a theme that's going to do what you want to begin with is going to remove a lot of those headaches on, you know, on the front end. Just because you've seen the demo, you know what it's capable of, and you know that it'll do that for your site. And so I think that's another really cool thing about WordPress, is being able to just choose that theme that's going to do what you want it to do.
Keep it simple. That's always my advice to people. Don't try and go crazy. Don't make this big complicated plan. Just keep it very, very simple. And that's what people want to see on your website anyway.
Right. Yeah. People.
Yeah.
They're not going to dive deep into 50 pages website. They really just want to, you know, be able to get to the most important information about you, so they know whether or not they want to move forward with using your products or services.
Yeah, you want your standard, your home page, your about page, your work with me page, your blog, and then your contact page. And then under that you can have different areas like your press page or your different blog categories or different programs that you offer. But on your main menu, like that's really all people are looking for.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Yeah.
So you were talking earlier about some of these other platforms where you can build your website. Why should I use WordPress over like Wix or Weebly or one of the others?
Well, the primary reason that you're going to want to choose WordPress is because even if you go with another provider, at some point, you will most likely switch to WordPress anyway.
You will evolve.
That's right. That's the word I'm looking for. You will evolve to WordPress. No, but it's, I see a lot of clients too. They come in, they signed up for Squarespace, which is great. And you know, you can get your website up right away, but you can't really do everything on your website that you want it to do. You know, you've got a single one-page format. Maybe you've got a little sidebar, but it's very, very controlling. It's the same situation that I talked about with having a WordPress.com website. Is you don't have that control over your website. So your website can't really grow with you. And I don't know the last time anyone tried to, or at least the last time I tried to do a blog post on Wix, it was like a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was not an easy process. So definitely I definitely recommend that you look at the other systems out there too. And they might appeal to you, and that, you know, it does have that simple drag and drop, but I can tell you right now, at some point, you're probably going to consider switching to WordPress, just because your business is going to grow and your website's going to need to grow. And besides that, WordPress has the drag and drop themes and modules, so they have all that other stuff too.
Right.
So
may as well just begin at the beginning.
Exactly.
I hear you. Okay, cool. So I know we're coming to the end of this 20-minute interview, and so I want to give you an opportunity to tell people a little bit about how they can you know, reach out to you and possibly work with you on setting up their own WordPress site.
Great. Well, actually, I have an amazing 5-day mini challenge / course that they can sign up to. It's called Love Your Website. I Love Your Website Challenge. And basically what it is we take 5 days and we just get into everything about your website. And I'm not just talking like homepage, about page. First day, we're going to do all that good stuff. We're going to really clean up your website and just make you fall in love with it all over again. Second day, we're going to go through all your social media channels. You're going to fall in love with them too. The third day, we're going to make sure that your website is doing what it's supposed to, and that your sales funnel is set up and working, and You've at least got some way to capture the leads of the people who are coming to your website. On the fourth day, we're going to talk about SEO, a topic everyone loves to know about. So I'm going to introduce a little bit of that to you. And then on the last day, we're going to talk about your blog. So in that 5 days, we do everything, A to Z, front and back, full spring cleaning of your website.
Nice.
Yes, and it's completely free. This sign up link will be included as well for you right down below. It's a really fun challenge. I actually took my challenge myself last month.
Nice.
I did. So you'll get to see that too. You'll get to see me taking the challenge right along with you.
Oh, that's cool. That, you know, that's when you know you've really got some value, when you do your own stuff.
Hey, believe me, my website needed it last month.
I love it. That is fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. I know we have another interview coming up, but I really, really appreciate you being here. And I appreciate you sharing so much information with the audience so that they can get their WordPress sites up and running as well.
Thank you for having me, Marissa. Oh, it's been so great.
Bye.
All right. Bye.